So I'll just dive right in. Albert Wesker is an iconic Resident Evil franchise villain. So I was wondering, were you familiar with him at all, or were you familiar with the franchise before you signed on for the role?
So yes and no. I was familiar with the franchise, but I was very unfamiliar with Wesker because my only orientation of the franchise were the films. So I'd never played the games, and to be honest, I wasn't even aware of the video games. So it wasn't until this project came to me that I even came to understand, number one, that the entire franchise is built on the video games, and number two, that Albert Wesker is a huge iconic character within the games.
Did you do a lot of research after you found out that he was an iconic character, or did you want to kind of play it into the script more?
I really just tried to bring, well, both. So for the most part, I just tried to bring what was on the page to life. But I don't want to get too much into spoiler territory. But as the season moves forward and you start seeing more of what is the Wesker from the game, then I realized that I had to do some research from the game. So rather than trying to play all the games, because I didn't have time to do that, I watched a lot of videos of people playing the game as Wesker and came to understand kind of how he moves and his attitude and that kind of thing. And that was very helpful.
Definitely. And yeah, did Andrew tell you about the big twist that comes up with Wesker?
Well,
or did you have to find out after, while reading the scripts?
Well, I found out while reading the script. However, I read the first 7 episodes before I even interviewed for the project. So I already knew that was coming. Yeah.
How was it? I'll put a spoiler disclaimer in the article. So how was it to kind of play off of yourself? What was that process like?
It was, I want to say it was fun, but it kind of wasn't. It was long and tedious. It was hard because we rehearsed it for an afternoon and then we shot it for 2 days. It took 2 days to shoot that scene. And then just in terms of the technical aspects, the way they were shooting it, I had to get the blocking set and figure out what I was going to do. And then we would basically shoot the scene once as one character, and then my stand-in and my stunt double would play 2 of the other characters. And then I go change and do that again. And which was particularly challenging for Bert and for OG Wesker because the look is so different. So it took a lot, and I had to completely change wardrobe. And so, yeah, it was just a lot of time and it was tedious.
Yeah. I mean, the great part is, though, despite what happens in the end, you get to come back now for season 2.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so I also was so curious about your relationship with both Jade and Billy. I thought that was such an interesting aspect of the character. And so I was wondering, how did you build that relationship up with the 2 young actresses who played your daughters?
Initially, it was just working with them, because they're such brilliant actors and they're so professional and they're such great human beings. That just came as we went along. Yeah, the hardest part of that was the very first day. Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, that's all I've got today. Thank you so much for your time. I love the show. I really appreciate it.